Politics just body-slammed hip-hop in broad daylight. And trust me, the fallout is way too loud to ignore. What began as simple online chatter detonated into a blazing showdown between Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and rap heavyweight Nicki Minaj. Allegations flew everywhere, timelines caught fire, and fans on both sides cranked the temperature all the way up. At the eye of this chaos were claims that Nicki Minaj had gone full MAGA, triggering backlash that spilled far beyond the music industry. Jasmine Crockett absolutely did not hold back, firing off razor-sharp remarks that went viral in seconds and flipped the narrative from celebrity opinion to political accountability. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj's loyal fan base mobilized fast, rejecting what they viewed as a calculated attack. So was this really about ideology, influence, or just pure ego? And how did a political disagreement explode into one of the internet's fiercest cultural clashes? Let's unpack exactly what went down, and why everyone suddenly has something to say. As for Jasmine Crockett, she's back in the spotlight again, and stirring controversy is clearly nothing new for her name.
About Nicki Minaj, because she's like, very in the news these days, has like, you're doing a face right now.
We don't mess with Nicki.
You don't mess with Nicki?
No, we don't mess with Nicki.
Did you used to mess with her?
Oh, of course. I mean, you had to, but I will be clear, I have always loved Cardi more.
By the tail end of last year, somewhere between September and October, the chatter around Jasmine Crockett started getting seriously louder across media platforms. Around that same stretch, even the sports-focused outlet Dreamish Pro jumped in, directly dissecting how she was being treated in public. What really grabbed attention was how certain media heavyweights, including Stephen A. Smith, seemed to come down hard on her stance. The overall tone sparked real questions about fairness and balance in today's public debate arena. The bigger issue wasn't just the criticism itself, but whether it was actually proportionate or part of a broader media habit of piling onto political figures. Now that Jasmine Crockett is trending nationwide again, it's worth digging into what's truly unfolding and why her name keeps igniting controversy. Many observers question how the backlash looked from the outside. It felt selective. If tone and delivery were truly the concern, then consistency should matter, especially since figures like Laura Loomer and others in political circles are known for far sharper rhetoric. Yet the microscope stayed fixed on how Jasmine Crockett presented herself, reigniting debate about media fairness and scrutiny. Meanwhile, another headline magnet has been Nicki Minaj. Her recent moves have triggered intense criticism and non-stop debate. In one widely publicized moment, she appeared alongside Donald Trump, showed off a go-kart, and later posted about it online, seemingly implying the appearance might connect to a citizenship path. The White House quickly stepped in to clarify that the event had absolutely nothing to do with any citizenship process.
Okay.
And clearly my instincts were right to love on Cardi more than Nicki.
Totally. So you kind of flipped on her. What was the moment you decided that I just can't anymore?
I just don't do sellouts, especially in this moment, right? Like, things are too serious. There are too many people that are being harmed. And especially with her being an immigrant, then deciding to go and cozy up to this administration that is specifically putting targets on the backs of immigrants and anyone who stands with them. Even if they're U.S. citizens, they can catch a bullet. That is wrong. And I don't even understand how you can play with it and pretend like it's anything but wrong.
The backlash hit hard, with critics arguing the moment seriously questioned her judgment. Many suggested she may have misread how political alliances actually work, assuming loyalty that was never officially promised. Analysts quickly reminded everyone that in politics, allegiance usually revolves around strategy, not personal friendships. That episode poured gasoline on an already raging debate about celebrities stepping into politics and how fast public opinion can flip. Meanwhile, the spotlight swung back to Jasmine Crockett after new audio surfaced, cranking the conversation around her recent remarks up another level. The footage appeared to show Jasmine Crockett walking through a public space when TMZ reporters caught up with her for comment. By then, scrutiny around Nicki Minaj was already intensifying, with many noticing her public support seemed to be sliding amid mounting political controversy. Observers called it a clear shift in sentiment. When Jasmine Crockett's full response aired, one thing became obvious: she was not dialing it down. Her delivery was firm, blunt, and completely unapologetic. Asked about Nicki Minaj, she reacted instantly. "We don't mess with Nicki." Pressed again. "You don't mess with Nicki?" She doubled down. "No, we don't mess with Nicki." When questioned about ever supporting her before, she replied, "Oh, of course." I mean, you had to. But I'll be clear, I've always loved Cardi B more. That nod toward Cardi B signaled a noticeable public shift. When asked what triggered the change, she answered, "I just don't do sellouts, especially right now. Things are too serious. Too many people are being harmed," adding that as an immigrant, cozying up to an administration she believes targets immigrant communities, even those who are U.S. citizens, was simply wrong. She stressed that in her view, the current political climate is far too serious for symbolic moves that appear to support policies she believes negatively affect immigrants.
Why do you think she's doing it then?
Listen, I don't know if it's because she looking for some papers for some people, or if she's looking for them other papers, because, I hear that she got family members that's got a few little issues, right? And so maybe she needs them other papers, because he love to hand those out, usually at a cost, right? But going after people like Don Lemon, who I love dearly, just wrong. Like, she's just on the wrong side of history. So I hope that people remember all of this when she comes back and she's broke and she's begging for money and support, because something tells me MAGA ain't gonna do it for her.
When pressed on why she believes Nicki Minaj is making these moves, Jasmine Crockett didn't exactly whisper her response. "Listen, I don't know if she's looking for some papers for certain people, or maybe some other papers, because I've heard there are family members with a few little issues," she said, raising eyebrows instantly. That remark stirred speculation fast, even though no concrete evidence was presented. The clip spread like wildfire online, intensifying the already simmering tension between political power players and entertainment royalty. Jasmine Crockett continued, hinting that maybe Nicki Minaj was seeking favors, and reminding viewers that some political figures are known to grant them, but rarely without strings attached. She then pivoted to Nicki Minaj's recent criticism of Don Lemon, calling the attack unnecessary and misplaced. In her view, these decisions have placed Nicki Minaj on what she described as the wrong side of history, cautioning that public memory stretches longer than many expect when political tides inevitably turn. She added that she hopes people remember this chapter if circumstances shift for Nicki Minaj down the road, questioning whether those applauding her political alignment today would remain loyal tomorrow, because in politics, loyalty often feels transactional, not personal. The interviewer then posed a cultural curveball. If Nicki Minaj drops a massive summer anthem, would critics still boycott it? Or can fans truly separate music from politics? Jasmine Crockett answered by pointing to R. Kelly, noting that despite his legal troubles and incarceration, some listeners still stream his catalog. She acknowledged that many people can divide art from the artist, but for her, the issue runs deeper than personal enjoyment. It's about financial backing. She stressed that money equals influence, arguing that consumer dollars built Nicki Minaj's empire in the first place, the same empire that now provides access to powerful political figures like Donald Trump. Without public financial support, that level of access simply wouldn't exist. She argued that without public dollars, that kind of recognition simply wouldn't exist. The bigger issue she raised was whether fans should keep financially backing celebrities who then use as an influence in ways critics believe damage communities or clash with shared values. For Jasmine Crockett, this isn't about playlists or chart positions. It's about accountability connected to money and power. Then the spotlight shifted to a politically charged cultural moment, the so-called Turning Point themed halftime show, where Kid Rock was announced as headliner. Some watchers assumed Nicki Minaj would pop up, especially given her perceived alignment with MAGA adjacent circles. But when the lineup dropped, her name was nowhere to be found, and people noticed. The obvious question followed. If she's truly embraced within that movement, why wasn't she featured at one of its most visible stages? Jasmine Crockett suggested maybe Nicki Minaj is starting to recognize her standing within that space, or maybe she isn't. Either way, the absence fueled fresh speculation about how solid her acceptance really is. After the entire exchange aired, the clear takeaway was that Jasmine Crockett's comments were calculated and unapologetic. The argument presented was simple. There's no requirement to stay polite when addressing views seen as harmful. From that angle, Nicki Minaj's political pivot wasn't quiet or accidental. It was bold and unmistakable. Reports even claimed the backlash escalated so far that an online petition calling for her deportation gained traction, allegedly collecting tens of thousands of signatures.
If Nicki came out with a summer jam and you couldn't not bop your head to it, do you think you'd still have to turn it off when you're in the car to come on the radio, or can you divorce those two things?
I think that there are plenty of people. I'll give you an example. R. Kelly, right? A lot of people took issue with R. Kelly. R. Kelly obviously is serving and doing his time right now. But something tells me that people are still bumping R. Kelly somewhere, somehow, right? I think that there are people that can divorce the art. For me, it is more so about like your dollars. Like, are you going to support with your dollars certain things? Because it's the dollars that have given her a platform in the first place. Otherwise, Donald Trump wouldn't even know who she was. No one would know who she was, but for the dollars that were used to support her that allowed her to have the platform that she had.
That wave of backlash proved just how fast public opinion can flip when politics crashes into pop culture. The broader debate dragged in the administration's tough immigration stance, frequently linked to figures like Stephen Miller, whose name has become synonymous with hardline policies on immigration and foreign affairs. The message underneath it all was blunt. Aligning with powerful political movements comes with real social and economic consequences. And once a celebrity steps all the way into that arena, reactions, supportive or savage, arrive just as intensely. Critics also resurfaced past speeches and college-era writings from Stephen Miller, arguing his long-standing positions on immigration and national identity have been clearly documented for years. That history, they say, makes it puzzling that Nicki Minaj would openly align herself with a movement so closely connected to him. The claim is that immigration enforcement has remained a central priority for this administration, complete with forceful rhetoric and proposals aimed at tightening deportation policies. In that light, skeptics question why Nicki Minaj would assume celebrity status shields her from the same standards being promoted. The larger takeaway is that political movements tend to run on ideology and strategy, not personal loyalty or star power.
Do you want to continue to support or elevate a person's platform who's then going to turn around and do things that are demeaning to us as a society?
It's interesting to me that like she's like the MAGA hero right now, but she's not included in their halftime Super Bowl show. You know how they're doing a Turning Points halftime show? Kid Rock is headlining. I assumed that Nicki was going to headline, but she's not even on the bill. It's a pride. Why do you think Nicki's not on there?
She may now understand her place as it relates to MAGA, but maybe she won't. Who knows?
Who knows for sure? Reports have previously noted that Nicki Minaj immigrated to the United States as a child. Conversations about her documentation during that period have floated around online, but it's crucial to clarify that no official claim has ever questioned her current citizenship. The irony, commentators point out, is that immigration policies could technically affect anyone lacking proper legal status. Fame doesn't grant immunity. This sparked a wider reflection on political alignment. Some supporters have wondered why there's pushback against the MAGA movement. The answer usually comes down to perception and messaging. To critics, the slogan "Make America Great Again" signals which groups are prioritized in that vision of the country. Many communities feel excluded from that narrative. The concern isn't just partisan, it's about whether the movement's tone and policies promote inclusion or division. That's the central reason many choose not to support it. Ultimately, the debate transcends celebrity. It's about ideology, about who gets represented, who feels protected, and who gets left out when powerful slogans dominate national platforms. The concern goes beyond one figure. High-profile personalities like Elon Musk have also been tied to the movement, and discussions about identity and loyalty keep surfacing in various political spaces. Critics argue some voices within the movement emphasize racial solidarity in ways that alienate others. For example, commentary around Vivek Ramaswamy gained attention when past statements from public figures, including in Coulter, resurfaced during a widely discussed exchange. Coulter suggested that despite Ramaswamy's intelligence and wealth, his background would prevent her from offering support. That moment quickly turned into a hot topic on identity politics and who really gets accepted in certain political circles. There was also talk about a town hall in Indiana where Vivek Ramaswamy faced tough questions from voters. Critics argue these moments reveal underlying tensions in the movement about who truly fits its vision. Another name frequently tossed into debates is Nick Fuentes, especially after his appearance on Piers Morgan Uncensored, where his views came under fire. Support from controversial figures like Fuentes has fueled skepticism among critics questioning the broader values driving the movement. The core argument is grounded in personal conviction. There is zero willingness to back any political ideology perceived as dismissive or disrespectful toward black communities. The concern zeroes in particularly on rhetoric targeting black women, which critics say repeatedly surfaces in certain online spaces tied to the movement. The stance is unmistakable. Support will not be given to any ideology that demeans or marginalizes black individuals, especially black women. This isn't about nuance or misinterpretation. It's about recurring patterns of harmful language and messaging. Critics insist the issue isn't misunderstanding context. Adults are capable of recognizing tone, subtext, and consistency. So dismissing criticism as ignorance is more avoidance than explanation. Ultimately, the position is simple. Self-respect and community respect must always come first. Aligning with a movement that, in this view, regularly tolerates rhetoric critical of black people would directly clash with those principles. The takeaway is straightforward. Participation is optional. Those who feel included may choose to engage, but no one is obligated to join. The ultimate lesson stresses accountability. Anyone publicly backing movements seen as harmful should be ready for scrutiny and pushback. Political identity, celebrity influence, and cultural loyalty are tightly intertwined, and once a public stance is declared, reactions are inevitable. As always, thoughtful discussion is encouraged. Share your perspectives in the comments and keep the conversation going in the next episode.